And so Dr. Powell had just been reached out to by a family in Mexico who discovered that their 13-year-old daughter was inside. They didn't think she was, and she was able to communicate. And the reason they discovered that was during COVID. They were in charge of homeschooling and started being like, okay, let's see what you know. And bing, 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 she starts spelling. She knew an awful lot. And I think they were shocked. And pretty soon thereafter, she said, I can read your mind. And they thought, what? And they would do tests. What did I just draw? And she'd say what they just drew. What are we thinking? And she would write it. And so...
Do they say what they see?
Um,
Or how they see it? Like if someone writes something down, do they see the word or do they know it?
Well, I think that's a really good question. And, we've done a few experiments that, again, I'm not a scientist. Like the experiments I was doing for the film, which is going to be now a film, but the podcast was kind of me just trying to understand, like proof of concept, what is going on here, right? And I can only say what spellers have told me, and there's been quite a few spellers who say I can see through someone's eyes or I can hear through their ears. And others who seem to have a merged consciousness with someone that they're very close to, whether it be a father or a teacher or a communication partner, father or whatever. Where we did some experiments with one mom where we'd show an image to her. Her son, who was sitting across the room, would all of a sudden start writing what the image was. But what was so fascinating is sometimes the mom wouldn't even know what the image was. So at one point she thought it was paint. No, she thought there was a food fight. It was ketchup and mustard, and he wrote paint. So at that point, it's like she's not obviously sending a thought, right? He seems to be tapping in the second the image is in her own mind. So for us, it was a big question of, is this just sheer telepathy?